Hey there, welcome back to another video. This that going to transform your business development effort. Today we are diving into something very special: email copywriting psychology that get result till 2025. So in this video we'll cover email copywriting. It's a masterclass about a psychological trigger that makes your prospect to respond. Okay, so stick with me and let's dive in. So the difference between a email get ignored and that one generate respond often come down to understanding human psychology. I have sent thousands of email to prospect and analyze the data meticulously to identify exactly what actually work nowadays. Okay, so in this masterclass I'm going to share the psychological trigger that helped me to maintain my 27% response rate on cold mail, and that more even 5 times in the industry average. That are exact technique I use for my client who collectively generate millions in revenue through email outreach. Okay, so let's dive in and transform your email copywriting today. Section 1 is psychological attention. Before someone can respond to your email, you need to open and read it, right? They need to open and read your email. Without opening and reading your email, they can't reply you, right? So the first thing is to grab attention and open your email. So let's start with the capturing attention effectively. The human brain is designed to filter information constantly. We bombard with thousands of messages daily, and our brains that developed sophisticated filtering mechanism to cope with the overload. There are three psychological principles you need to understand to break those filtering. Okay, so first is the pattern interruption. Your brain pays attention when someone breaks the expected patterns. Okay, that's why unusual or unexpected subject line get higher open rate. Second, self-interest. We naturally drawn to information relevant to our goals, challenges, and identity. And third is curiosity gap. Our brains crave closer when someone sends missing informations. Okay, so let me show you how the principle works. Okay, the pattern interruption. This isn't is about only like industry pitch name. It's not like that. Self interaction, it's not mean that specific interest for result for a specific company. Curiosity gap, quick question about a specific project they mention. Okay, notice nowadays differ from typical subject lines are including our services follow up. They are designed to work with their brain's natural attention mechanism, not fight against them. Okay, so let's look at the real example. When I worked with a client company, we tested this subject line. Okay, so that is original. We web design services for company 20%, 12% open rate. Okay, so most of the people, they know that I am offering and pitching them something, and don't like no people want to sold themselves, right? So it's get only 12% open rate. And psychological version, I found three issues with your company's checkout flow that get 38% open rate in the next day. Okay, so it's not about like the whole campaign duration or something like that. The next day it get 38%, so it's dramatically improved. Okay, the same offer, same audience, but the second version created self-interest and curiosity gap that demand resolutions. Okay, so trust triggers. Once you have captured attention, you need to establish trust quickly. Without trust, nothing else matters. Okay, so there are four primary trust triggers that work in cold mail right now. That is specificity and relevance, social proof, authority signal, prediction, and validation. So let's break it down. Okay, so similar like specificity signals that you have done with your homework. When you mention specific details to their businesses, it shows we're not sending mass emails. For example, like if I send a generic email like I help companies to improve their marketing. No one will buy that. They will think I am mass emailing it. But if I mention something specific, like I noticed you recently launched your retargeting campaign on LinkedIn focused on finance sector, a smart move given by the industry trends. Okay, it's this is something super specific, and people will get interested in that because this is not something they are expecting. Okay, the social proof reduce perceived risks by showing their others trust. For example, like we help company like yours, but we the specific one is we recently helped a similar company name increase their conversion rate by 32% using the same approach I would recommend for their company. Okay, authority signal establish credibility and include industry credential, media mentions, and specific result with metric recognized client, something like that. Okay, the most workload trust trigger prediction and validation. Okay, so making an accurate observation of their businesses that prove you are an expert. This shows you understand their situation without having them to tell you. Okay, so that's it. And the section 3 is emotional triggers. Okay, so people makes decision based on emotion, then justify with logic. So first is the emotion. So most powerful emotional triggers in the business are loss aversions, status identity, future patching, and exclusivity. Okay, so loss aversion is the psychological principle that we feel losses about twice strongly equivalent gains. And here is how to apply it. Like our gain frame is our solution can help you increase conversion by 20%. Loss companies without this solution is typically leaving 20% of potential revenue on the table. Okay, so same thing but different approach. Same information but with a different version create a longer motivation. So status and identity applies with apply work because we make decision that aligns with our self images. For example, generic we help we our solution helps companies grow, but identity based forward thinking CMOs like yourself are using this approach to stay ahead of the competitions. Same thing, different approach. Okay, the future patching creates a vivid picture of the future success, allowing the prospect with emotional experience that benefits before they buy. And exclusivity trigger tap into the desired scarcity and special access. Let me show you a real before and after example where you adding an emotional trigger increase a response rate by 47%. I will show you later in this video. Okay, so there is a attachment there. So section 4 is power of narrative. Okay, humans retain and a hardwired for stories. Our brains process information better when it's narrative form. Every effective email tells a micro story of this element context, where we are right now, complication, the challenges, contrast, the different connection, why you are the guide. Okay, let me show you how this works in practice. Context. I notice company has been expanding its marketing effort, particularly on LinkedIn. Complications, but engagement metric shows your competitor is capturing 3x more interaction despite producing less content. Contrast. Imagine doubling your content engagement while actually reducing production cost by causing on the format that resonate with the specific audience. Connection. We have helped three other industry companies actually have this exact result by applying our methodology. Okay, so this narrative structure works because it creates a coherent story rather than just listening a feature or capabilities. It positions you as the guide who can help them overcome their challenges they are already facing. Let's look at one more example where we applied this structure for a client email and increased their meeting book rate by 35%. I will show you in the later in the video. Section 5 is the perfect call to action. So finally let's talk about call to action where the most email fails. They either ask for too much or make a next step unclear. So psychologically behind the effective CTS comes with down three principles: perceived effort, clear value, exchange, the next step clarity. The perceived effort requires dramatically impact response rate. Compare this like high effort, let me know when you are free for a call to discuss how we might work together. But low effort, would a 15-minute call this Friday make sense? I can send a calendar lead link if that works better. The second version reduce the mental load by making them the decision binary, providing a specific framework. Clear value actions means articulating uh, what they gain from taking the next step. Okay, generic. Let's schedule a call. Value based. During on our 15-minute call, I will share you the exact process how we used to help similar companies solve the specific problem, which can apply immediately. Same thing, different approach. Okay, so next step, clarity. Eliminate confusion about what next happened. Be extremely specific about the process. Let me know if you are interested. Okay, and clear is, if this sound valuable, simply reply yes, I will send over a 3 time option for brief call this week. Simply awesome. Okay, so let's tie everything together. Effective cold mail copywriting isn't it about trick or gimmicks? It's about understanding how the human brain process information and make decisions. To recap the psychological trigger we covered, that is attention, pattern interruption, self-interested, and curiosity gap. Trust, specificity, social proof, authority, and prediction. Emotions, loss, aversion, identity, future patching, exclusivity. Narrative, context, complications, contrast, connections. Action, reduce effort, and clear value exchange. Next step, clarity. So that's it. So if you just like master all these kind of things, then your email will be like something like super. Then you will see the response rate as well. Okay, so when you apply this principle systematically, you can transform your response rate. I have been seen a client result go from 5 to over 30% response rate within this exact framework. Okay, so if you like, that's all for today. So if you found this video helpful, valuable, then hit the like button and subscribe for more strategy and actually what works in 2025 for cold mail, and what's your biggest email copywriting challenge, and drop a comment below. I might address it in the next video. Until next time, take care, bye bye.